Hello and welcome, everyone. Are you building dashboards for multiple customers and wondering how to keep their data secure, scalable, and easy to manage? In this video, I will explore how Bold BI makes multi-tenancy architecture simple and powerful for organizations expanding their analytics capabilities. First, let me give a short overview of Bold BI. Bold BI is a next-generation analytics solution designed to help organizations transform raw data into actionable insights. Whether you need self-service dashboards or a fully embedded analytics experience, Bold BI offers flexible deployment and robust security for teams of all sizes. Bold BI offers the following features: dashboard creation and visualization. Build interactive dashboards with rich visual components for real-time insights. Data connectivity and modeling. Connect to diverse data sources and shape data using built-in modeling tools. AI-powered analytics. Enhance decision-making with predictive analytics and intelligent data exploration. Collaboration and sharing. Share dashboards securely and collaborate through comments and scheduled exports. Security and access control. Protect data with role-based access, authentication, and row-level security. Embedding and integration. Embed dashboards into applications using the API and SDK. Branding and localization. Customize the UI and support multiple languages for global accessibility. Performance optimization. Ensure fast dashboard rendering with caching and query optimization. Flexible deployment. Deploy the Bold BI application in environments such as Windows, Linux, Docker, Kubernetes, and Azure. Let me give you a real-world organizational architecture that I'm going to use in the demo. The Bold Corp organization has 4 clients: Alpha Electronics, Beta Enterprise, Gamma Industries, and Delta Industries. Each client has multiple users at different levels of responsibility. Their sales data is stored in PostgreSQL databases named Alpha Electronics Sales Analysis, Beta Enterprise Sales Analysis, Gamma Industries Sales Analysis, and Delta Industries Sales Analysis, respectively. Bold BI converts their sales data into visual metrics for better analysis. Based on the organization's structure, a few questions are raised. Do I need to duplicate the dashboard for every client? Can I guarantee that users only see their own data? Do I have to import all users into Bold BI? In the following section, I demonstrate how Bold BI has solved these queries. To begin, I will connect sales data to the Bold BI application and design a dashboard. First, I open the Bold BI server application and create a new dashboard named Sales Analysis Dashboard. Next, I connect to the data source by selecting PostgreSQL and entering the required fields such as the data source name and server details. In this example, I am using the Alpha Electronics Sales Analysis database. I connect it to open the Query Editor page. Drag and drop the necessary tables, and save it to open the Dashboard Designer page. I then drag and drop a widget. Assign data fields, and customize the properties for a better visual experience. You can continue adding and configuring widgets as needed. After designing the dashboard, click the Preview button to view it. I publish the dashboard in the Dashboard Server application. Now I have successfully designed a sales analysis dashboard. The dashboard displays Alpha Electronics clients' sales data. Then, I want to add a dashboard to a web application. Bold BI makes the process simple. It offers flexible embedding options that allow you to integrate dashboards into your app. These options include JavaScript SDK embedding or iframe embedding. JavaScript SDK embedding offers full programmatic control over Bold BI dashboards, making it ideal for interactive and dynamic applications. It supports event handling, theming, and dynamic filtering, and is best suited for developers and SaaS platforms requiring deep integration. Iframe embedding is a simple and quick method to integrate Bold BI dashboards using minimal code. It is best for static dashboards or internal portals, and it allows embedding of the entire Bold BI portal, including dashboards, the designer, and data sources. In this demo, I will proceed with the JavaScript SDK embedding method in an ASP.NET Core application. Let me look at the embedding workflow structure. It helps to understand the flow of embedding a dashboard into a web application. First, the client browser sends the request to the SDK application, which includes the token generation method. This method embeds access keys, user filters, and more attributes. Then it requests an access token from the Bold BI server for them. The Bold BI server validates the attributes and generates an access token. Bold BI sends the access token to the SDK application. It sends the access token and schema to the client browser. Then it sends the access token to the Bold BI server. Finally, Bold BI validates the access token and returns the dashboard data to the client slide to render a dashboard. To begin, I downloaded the ASP.NET Core sample application from GitHub. The link to the repository is provided in the video description. After downloading, I open the application in Visual Studio Code, although you can use any code editor of your choice. Next, I configure a few settings on the dashboard to enable embedding. I navigate to the dashboard server page. Go to Settings, then to the Embed section, and toggle on the Enable Embed Authentication option. Once that's done, I click the Download button, enter the dashboard details, and download the corresponding JSON file. I then add this JSON file to the core application. This file contains all the necessary configuration details for the dashboard. Now I open the homecontroller.cs file. Here, the token generation method is responsible for validating user credentials, generating the embed signature, and sending the response to the client side to render the dashboard securely. Finally, I open the command prompt and execute the .NET Run command to launch the application. The dashboard will now be embedded and rendered within the web application. Next, I will analyze Beta Enterprise's client sales data. Should I duplicate the dashboard for this client during that time? No need. Bold BI offers custom attribute feature support. A custom attribute is essentially a parameter that acts as a global placeholder within queries, custom expressions, or the data source connection interface. These attributes are stored individually for each user and are dynamically applied when rendering dashboards, allowing for a personalized and secure data experience. Custom attributes can be defined at 3 levels. User-level attributes can be set by the site administrator on the user's profile page. Group-level attributes are configured on the group profile page. Site-level attributes are managed by the UMS administrator on the site details page. In this demo, I will configure a custom attribute using a dynamic connection string. First, I navigate to the Users page from the main menu. Since I'm logged in as an administrator, I select my profile. Go to the Attributes section and add a new attribute. I name the attribute and set its value to the Alpha Electronic Sales Analysis database. Then I save the changes. Next, I open the Sales Analysis dashboard. In the query editor, I click Edit Connection. Replace the static database name with the custom attribute syntax, and reconnect the data source. After saving the changes, I return to the dashboard designer and publish the dashboard. To apply this configuration in the web application, I open the homecontroller.cs file and update the token generation method. I add the custom attributes list, which includes its details. I add the custom attribute name and value. Once everything is set up, I run the application. The dashboard now renders sales data from the beta enterprise client. Can I guarantee that users only see their own client's data? Yes. Bold BI provides filter parameter support for row-level security. The user filter provides row-level security for the data used to create dashboards, allowing us to restrict the data visible to each user. In this demo, I will restrict access to sales data by region based on user position. Let me show the user details image. For example, Jack, Grace, Henry, and Leo are users of Alpha Electronics, while Ella, Sam, Lily, and Alex belong to Beta Industries. Ella is an administrator who will access sales data across all regions. Sam is a general manager who will access the Southwest region data, and Alex is a sales executive who will access the North region data in Beta Industries. To implement that in this application, I open the application and navigate to the homecontroller.cs file. Inside the token generation method, I change the email value and create a data source filters list. I set region to name and the value as South and West to filter the data. This value is stored in the Embed Details object. Once I set the filter parameter, I run the application. See, the dashboard renders only the sales data from the South and West regions. This makes it easier to focus on relevant data, and it improves the clarity of analysis. Do I have to import users into Bold BI for them to access the dashboard? Not necessarily. Bold BI provides anonymous user embedding support. Anonymous embedding is ideal for applications with thousands of users, where managing each user in Bold BI would be inefficient. Instead, anonymous embedding allows seamless integration with a predefined permission-based group in the BI server. To configure this, I open the user management site in the Bold BI dashboard server. Go to the settings page and select the accounts section. Here I enable the system user toggle and save the changes. This generates a global access token that allows anonymous users to view embedded dashboards. Next, I create a new group without adding any users. I navigate to the Groups section. Click New Group. Enter the required details and add it. Then I manage the group's permissions by assigning the appropriate dashboard and adding the configuration. Back in the ASP.NET Core application, I open the homecontroller.cs file and update the token generation method. I change the user email value to represent an anonymous user. This email address doesn't need to belong to a registered Bold BI user. Additionally, I added an anonymous configuration object that enables anonymous embedding by setting the isEnabled property to true and specifying the group name, which determines the authorization group, whose permissions will be applied to the anonymous user. Once the setup is complete, I run the application. Anonymous users can now access the dashboard without having to be added as Bold BI users. In this video, I explored how to create a sales analysis dashboard using Bold BI, embed it into an ASP.NET Core application, connect dynamic data sources using custom attributes, manage dashboards with multi-tenancy and row-level security, and enable access for anonymous users through the Token Generation API. To learn more about Bold BI, you can visit boldbi.com. If you don't yet have a Bold BI subscription, you can try the platform out with a 30-day free trial by clicking the Try It Free button. If you'd prefer a demo from an expert, you can schedule one by clicking the Request a Demo button. These links are included in this video's description. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials like this. Thanks for watching.